Morning, my dear students. So this will be our last topic rather, for this semester. Okay. I know some of you are already done with the activity of the balancing chemical equations, but that's not the end. So meron pa po tayong activity na last. Oh, I hope all of you are downloading and listening and watching this video discussions natin. Okay? So, for this, we look at the chemical equations and the reactions. Okay? And I am going to show to you the tips and tricks on how to write the reactions in our topic, okay, for this subject. And I'm sure by the end of this video discussions, the concept will be super clear to all of you guys. And if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask and send it to our GC. Okay? So for this, I'm going to show to you some pictures of changes in our daily lives, and you need to identify what are the physical and the chemical change here. So this will be the first activity lang naman. If you have for okay, ika nga. So let's start with the first pictures. Okay, as you can see on these pictures, okay, makikita nyo sa lahat ng pictures. Okay, there's a person cooking. There's an ice on a platito, a fruit, a candle, a boiling water, and a iron with rust. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, the first picture, the person is cooking here. So right, so is that a physical or a chemical change? Okay, so what do you think? Okay, so that's right, it's a chemical change because once the food is cooked, new substance is being formed and it's reversible. Okay, now let's take a look at the second pictures. Okay, where you can see is the ice is melted. So what change that is? Okay, that is a physical or a chemical change. Okay, so kunwari lamang na may nagasagot agad online tayo, that is correct. The melting ice is a physical change. As you can see, the ice is change is physical forms into a water. Okay, from solid to a liquid. Okay, nagigets ba? Okay, now let's take a look at this picture below. Okay, so you can tell where the volume of water is that the physical. Okay, so you can tell me where the volume of water is that a physical or a chemical change. So it is again a physical change because the water changes into steam and it's reversible. Hindi na po natin maibabalik na. Okay? Now let's take a look at this picture here. Okay? Okay, so as you can see, an iron is shown, right? So what changed that? Okay, so that is correct. It is a chemical change because it's form a new substance form iron change into a rust. Okay, so hindi na po natin ulit yun maibabalik. It is irreversible. Now, what about the ring weight of fruits? Okay, is that a physical or chemical change? Okay, it is a chemical change again. Okay, because the new substance forms when the fruits gets ripened and you can't get it back to original form of the fruits. Okay, once siya po ay nahinog, hindi na po natin siya mabalik into for example from yellow to green. So hindi na po ganoon. Hindi natin na maibabalik siya sa kanyang original form of the fruit. Now what about the burning of the candle? Okay, this is an interesting example because when a candle burns, that is both a physical and a chemical change in bark. Okay, so the burning of the catalyst, a chemical change, but the melting of the vaccines, you can see the vaccine is melted. Okay, melting. So that is a physical change. Okay, yung mga candle niya. Okay, and when the captain burns, you know that it's get converted into carbon dioxide and the water vapor. So we can say that is a both physical and the chemical change, right? Okay, so in this video, our focus will be the chemical change. What is a chemical reaction? Is a chemical reactions. Okay, in a chemical change, a chemical reactions takes place. Okay, so a chemical reaction is the process in which the new substance with new properties are being formed or takes place. So, whenever there is a chemical change, there is a chemical reactions occur. Now, what is the definitions of a chemical reactions? As you can see naman dito on our video, a chemical reactions a chemical reaction is a process in which a new substance are formed with the new properties. So, so the important things is something new needs to be formed in a chemical reactions. But in the physical change, you know that no new substance are formed. Okay, no new substance are formed. We have some example of the chemical reactions. For example, so we have here the hydrogen plus oxygen. Okay, so gives water. So you can see that water is the new substance formed from the hydrogen and the oxygen. Similarly, in the sodium and the chlorine combined to give sodium chloride. Okay, so new substance here is sodium 2, right? Okay, there's something new forms from the sodium and the chlorine. And as you know, water is a very different properties from the hydrogen and the water, right? Okay, hydrogen and oxygen are the gases, but water, it is a normal form which is the liquid that we drink, and the some way a metal sodium combined with a poisonous gas to form a sodium chloride that is salt, okay, which we eat every day. Okay, we use in our cooking of food. So that's the magic of the chemistry. That is a chemical reactions. A new substance with new properties are formed. Now let's have a look about what are the substance on the left right side of a chemical reactions known for as for the example. When the hydrogen and oxygen combine, they form water. So you can see the substance on the left are the hydrogen and the oxygen. And these are known as the reactant, as you can see on this naman on our the presentation or the video. Okay, so the substance on the left are the reactant of the reactions. And what are the substance of the right? Okay, that's correct. Okay, so all the substance produced on the right side are known as the product. Okay, so the left side is called the reactants and the right side are known as the product. Now let's take a look at this example. Okay, can you identify ba? Okay, so ma-identify po natin, ma-identify nyo agad kasi nakalagay na ito dyan. When we are in the classroom setup, ipapa-identify ko yan sa inyo. And meron naman po tayong copy na dyan sa inyo yung ating last activity. You are going to identify which is the product and which is the reactant. Okay? And also, in-name pa po natin yon. Ang nakalagay lang kasi dyan is more on the chemical formula o empirical formula. Ang gagawin niyo is ita-transform nyo siya into a word or into a name. And also, you are going to identify which is the product and which is the reactant. Okay? What are the reactants and the reactants and the products in that equations below? Okay, so you can see that iron is combining with the sulfuric acid to produce iron sulfate and the hydrogen. So what the other reactants here? So it's the iron and the sulfuric acids. So these two are our reactants. Okay, and what the other products? Okay, so the other reactant products is the sulfate, ion sulfate, and the hydrogen, because what forms on the right hand side. Okay, so these are the reactants and the products in these chemical reactions. So when we write a chemical reactions like this, hydrogen plus oxygen gives water. This is known as the word equations because expressed in words. Now we're going to learn how to convert this into a chemical equations. So how do we convert a word equations to a chemical equation in this subject? This important rule that we need to follow when converting a word equations to a chemical equations is that for the elements in the equations, we are going to use at Thomas Wright. And I'll show to you what an example by and for compounds in the equation. So we're going to use that. Okay, so for elements. Okay, so let's see in this equation, for example, hindi pa siya balance, ha? Okay, so is balance or not? So we look at the number of atoms of each element on the left sides, that is on the reactants, and the right side is the product. Okay, so let's make the two columns here, which is the LHS and the RHS for the count of the items on the left and the right hand side. Okay, what are elements and more than in these reactions? So the elements are the hydrogen and the oxygens. Okay, so how many items of, or the number of hydrogens are there on the left sides? As you can see, there are two atoms. Okay, makikita nyo naman yan, H2 and O2. And how many atoms of hydrogens on the right side? On the right side, tama? Okay, so as you can see, okay, H2. Okay, so that's two atoms. And how many oxygen atoms on the left sides? It's 2. And the right side is 1. Okay, so yung 1 na po ay hindi na po nilalagay. Okay, so sa rule. Okay, so can you see that this equation is not balanced? As you can see, H2 for the reactants and the H2 for the products, and O2 and the O1. So hindi po balance, kulang pa po ng isa. Okay? Because the number of oxygen atoms on the left and the right hand side are not equally balanced. Okay, so we need to balance these equations, and our goal is to make the number of the atoms in each element same on the left and the right hand side. Okay, how do we do that? Okay, so one simple trick is go roll by roll. Okay, that is the elements by elements, and since the hydrogen is balanced, so we won't worry about the hydrogen. So let's take a look at the oxygens now. Since the oxygen is less 1 right hand side, I need to multiply the number of oxygens atoms on the right side by 2. Okay, so when I do that, there, can you see this going to turn to 2? So oxygen is balanced. But since now we have 2 water molecules, is going to be by 4. Okay, so hydrogen is now unbalanced. So to balance the hydrogens, we need to do the right thing. So we need to multiply it by 2 also. So you can change the formula. Okay, you can only add multipliers in the front of the substance. So in the place like in the front of the hydrogen or the oxygens or the water. So now when we multiply them, this becomes 4. Now, is this equation balanced? Absolutely. Okay, so tama, balance na po siya. Because there are 4 hydrogen atoms on the left and 4 on the right and the oxygen. So you can see it's 2 on the left and 2 on the right. So this equation is a nice balanced chemical equations. So remember our rule. So you need to balance the number of the atoms of each element on the left and the right hand sides, that is of the reactants and the products. Okay, next ones. Okay, are you ready to try our next example, which is Okay, and what are the elements here? The elements are the sodium and the chlorine. So now, how many items of sodium on the left? Okay, it's 1. Okay, so as you can see, how many items of sodium on the right? Again, 1, and chlorine. Okay, so you can see as 2 items on the left and there's just 1 atom on the right. So is this equations balanced? No, because as you can see, the chlorine atoms are not balanced, so we need to balance these equations. If it is balanced, then don't need to do anything. So again, the trick to balance is start with the elements that's not balanced. Magsisimula po tayo doon sa elements na hindi man balance. Okay? And here, here you can see the chlorine is not balanced. So to balance it, we'll need to multiply it by the right by 2. Oh, so ayun. So that's will make it to here, right? Because we want the chlorine since there are 2 on the left, and so chlorine gets balanced now. But with disturbed sodium, and the sodium becomes 2. But not to worry, we can still change the number of atoms of sodium, and we're going now is to multiply by 2 here. Okay, so that the sodium will get balanced. Now we can see that this equation is balanced because we have the 2 sodium on the left and 2 on the right, and the 2 chlorine on the left and the 2 on the right. Okay, so this is perfectly balanced because equations balanced chemical equations. And remember, you must always balance your chemical equations, never leave them unbalanced. Okay, here are our next examples. Why don't you pause this video and try? Okay, this is to yourself. Now let's learn how to write the physical states in the chemical equations and what are the importance of the physical states. Okay, as you can see, solid, which is represented by S, and then liquid which is represented by L, and gas is represented by G, and the aqueous is represented by AQ. So what is the difference between the liquid and the aqueous? Okay, the AQ means dissolved into water, but liquid can mean either just be just water, or it could be solid or the liquid, which is more than a form. Okay, so aqueous means dissolved in the water, and the liquid means that the state of the substance of a water. Okay, ha, tandaan. So let's add the physical states to these equations here. As you can see, so we have the hydrogen plus oxygen combined with the water. Ayun, kita niyo po dito. Combines to give water pala rather. So we know hydrogen is a gas. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, may open and close parenthesis dito na G, because hydrogen is a gas. Kung mapapansin nyo, lahat ng mga elements ay mayroong ganito. It represent kung anong state sila. Okay? Kung sila ba ay solid, liquid, gas, or the aqueous. Okay? Okay, so let's add the physical state which is in this equation. So we have the hydrogen plus oxygen to give the water. So we know hydrogen is a gas. So I'm going to write the physical states in the bracket next to it. So the G, similarly, oxygen is a gas. Okay, oxygen is also a gas. So we're going to put G, okay, next to it. Okay, now what the physical state should we put for the water? Okay, so normally hydrogen and oxygen bonds to give us water vapor. And only when you cool it down, it converts into a liquid water. So if you just burn hydrogen oxygen, we are going to represent it with the gas, because steam is formed, but it was condensed to liquid water. Then we would have put L So I'll just give G there, or G na lang, okay? So next one, now let's take a look at the next equation. So we have here the iron is definitely a solid, okay? It's making, and again, here are the water, which is used as steam. So I didn't react to it steam. So this needs to give G, and we have to drive ion tetroxide, okay, because of four number, 4, which is solid, and we know hydrogen is produced, which is gas. So I've added the physical state of to these equations, okay? Now, okay, so G pa din siya. Tapos solid G, solid gas and solid gas, okay? Now here's another example for you. We have zinc react with hydrochloric acid to produce into, okay, into it. Okay, so right, and the hydrogen. So why don't you try adding the physical state to these equations? Okay, so let's see what should it be? Zinc is the metal, so you need to say it's solid, and the hydrochloric acid is normally used as aqueous. Okay, aqueous form because normally you know that acid is added to the water and the solution of the hydrochloric acid is being used. So that's why we have here a Q here, okay, AQ. Okay, aqueous here, okay. What should be the physical state of the salt zinc 2? Okay. Okay, what will be the physical state? Okay, so nandiyan na naman yung sagot. Okay, you may be thinking solid because it's a salt, but zinc, right? It's highly soluble in the water, so we don't need to know about its solubility, and that's why we write a Q. Okay, aqueous, because this reaction is taking place in water and hydrogen gas is produced. Okay, so we are going to use the same book or references. As you can see, we need to write the physical state of a substance involved in these reactions or in the reactions. And for some of them, it's pretty simple, like hydrogen and oxygen. We know it's a gas. And what is the tricky one? Because sometimes it could be liquid or it could be an steam form of gas. Okay, so tama naman, di ba? And for things like sodium chloride and okay, sodium chloride. Okay, if they dissolve in water, then you need to write AQ. Okay, otherwise you will write solid for them to take care of while writing the physical states of a chemical reactions. Now let's discuss the characteristics of a chemical reactions. This will be the last part of our discussion. Let's discuss the characteristics of a chemical reactions. Okay. The important characteristics are the changing in states. Okay. Change in color, evolution of gas, change in temperature and formation precipitate. We'll discuss each of these characteristics with examples. Okay, so first let's discuss the first characteristics, which is the changing state. Okay, for this. Okay, let's use of burning of a candle as our example. Now, what is the change in this state? Okay, so anong changes ito? When it can be bonds, as you know, the catalyst or the catalyst is made of the bonds, which is solid. Now, when you burn the candle, we know that due to the heat, mortar or liquid wax is produced, right? So, this liquid is the or the mortar wax can, so as you can see, there's a change of states happening here, and when it can be burned, we know that gases are evolved. So that the gases are produced by the canyon burns, to give the carbon dioxide and the water vapor. And both of these are the gas are okay. So as you can see, the changes in the states happening in this burning of candle. The solid box is giving liquid more to the box and it's producing gases, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. So there's clearly change in the state happening in these chemical reactions. Okay, so another characteristic of chemical reaction is the change in the color. Okay, so for example, when a tomato ripens, it changes from green to red. Okay, let's look at the color change in these examples. When the citric acid reacts with the potassium permanganate, what is the color change? Okay, we know that the potassium permanganate hosts bubble colors, and when the citric acid is added to it, there is a chemical reaction that takes place, and the solutions become the colorless. Okay, become the colorless. So the change of color here is from the bubble of the colorless. So the chemical reactions can have a change in color. Okay, the next one characteristic, the third characteristics we have here, the evolution of gas. Okay, evolution means a gas is evolved. Okay, if a gas evolved, it produce. So for example, if you look at these reactions, zinc reacts with hydrochloric acid to produce zinc chloride and the hydrogen, as you can see. Okay, and and as you can see, hydrogen is a gas here. So hydrogen gas is evolved in these reactions. Now let's try this reaction. So what happens when the iron reacts with the sulfuric acids? So it's going to be similar to our previous reactions when the zinc was reacting with the hydrochloric acids. So in this might will again react with the acids to produce a ferrous sulfate and the hydrogen gases aboard. So this reaction is also characterized by the evolution of gas, which is the hydrogen. Okay, so let's try this next example. Sodium carbonate reacts with the dilute hydrochloric acid. Okay, and what is going to be formed? Okay, it's going to produce the solid sodium, chloride water, and the carbon dioxide. Okay, so what is the gas of the ozone of this the ozone? Okay, it's a carbon dioxide gas. Okay, and you need to balance this equation. So that's the Juder, and do here, and our equations now is balanced. So in these three reactions that we saw, some gases are evolved. Okay, the characteristics was evolution of gases. Okay. Next one, the fourth characteristics change in the temperature. So when we quicklime reactions with the water, it produces lactonine and the heat. So thus produce the temperature here is increases. So the characteristics, there's a change in the temperatures. And do you know how to represent these reactions? So what is the quicklime? A calcium oxide, quicklime pala rather. So a calcium oxide, so that Ca and OH, okay, so right, and it reacts with the water to produce the last line, slake lime, which is the calcium hydroxide, and thus produced in this reaction. So there's a change in temperatures involved here, and now for our final characteristics, which is the formation of the precipitate. Now, do you know what is the meaning of the word precipitate? Okay, so simply means that something insoluble at the solution is formed, and usually our solvent is the water. So something which is insoluble in water. Solid is produced, which precipitates down, it settles down because it is not soluble in the solution. Okay, now let's take a look at our example here, which is the potassium iodide plus lead nitrate. Okay, now, do you know what does this reaction give us? It's going to produce potassium nitrate and lead direct. Now, let's go ahead and balance the reaction, because don't forget to balance your reactions. So, lagi yun. So, it's going to be 2 here and 2 there. Okay, 2 sa unahan ng potassium ng Ki and potassium nitrate naman doon sa kabila. So, can you see that reaction is balanced now, and this reaction is done in the water. So the potassium nitrate that is formed as soluble. So that's an aqueous state, but later that is formed is solid. It's not soluble in the water, and it has a distinct yellow color. So this is our precipitate, which is found and writing in the short as the BPT, and it's yellow in color. So this reaction forms and precipitates something which is insoluble in the solutions. Now that we are done with the concepts, I have a questions for you. Okay, so why don't you try to write the balance of chemical equation for the reactions? Okay, so nandiyan sa ating answer sheet. Okay, which is simple, provide the presence of this, yun. Okay.